Hey guys, this is Dr. Locke again. I am here to give you a brief introduction to this ExPrep tool that you'll be using to complete some assignments in this course now that we have started learning more about Microsoft Excel. So ExPrep is a grading platform, and that's all it does. I create assignments using ExPrep, or they have some assignments already that I'm using, and then you will is similar to SimNet in that you will download a project file, you will complete the instructions that are provided, then you'll submit that to ExPrep for grading. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that by walking through this student orientation assignment. So that's the first thing you'll complete just to make sure that ExPrep is working for you and you understand how it works. So this is your very first ExPrep assignment. You're going to follow this link from Canvas. All right, and for you, that link will take you directly to ExPrep. You should see this screen next. You click Proceed. And then you can download the files. So when I click on this, I get this screen. You will not have that. You will have the option to just download the what's called the empty file in ExPrep. So I'm going to open this up. So you'll download this file with the word empty at the end of it. Okay, and you'll click Enable Editing. All right, and then you can begin the assignment. So ExPrep files typically have, it's a Excel workbook, and there will be a tab that has overview or instructions, or this one says start here, and that tab will give you instructions to walk through. And then there is an activity, one or more activity tabs for you to complete. It may not have the word activity, but the instructions will clue you in as to what you're supposed to actually complete in that Excel workbook. So we'll look at the Start Here tab. You will complete your own version of this. You'll have your own file to work in. So ExPrep is similar to SimNet in that each of you has your own digital footprint attached to the Excel workbook that you'll download. So you have to complete your own file. You cannot submit another student's file as your own. And you cannot copy and paste from another student's file into yours. You need to do your own work. It's for your good, right? So go ahead and do your own work on these. All right, so first of all, this is just some questions and answers here about what is ExPrep. You should read those things and how do you get access to it. So it's a grading automation tool so that as soon as you submit it, you can get graded feedback on what you missed, and then you have an opportunity to resubmit. Most assignments have 3 attempts, just like we have set up in SimNet for your projects. All right, so how you get access to it is just through the links in Canvas that you see there. So whenever you have an ExPrep assignment to complete, there will be a link in Canvas for you to follow to get to that. And some of these points now have an article. There's a hyperlink here to click on for an article about it if you have questions or need more information about it. How you submit, you will submit back into the ExPrep portal, and I'm going to show you an example of doing that. All right, so what should you do if you get an error message when you try to submit? There are a few troubleshooting methods, so you can either try again. You can ask your instructor, which is me, for help. You can also ask for help from ExPrep. It depends on what the problem is. So that's what that article is about. And then this last one, how do I view my assignment feedback? So there is feedback in the assignment, and I'll show you how to look for that. But you will get that graded feedback. You'll download it from the ExPrep portal, the same place where you submit your assignment to be graded. All right, so if you need tech support related to the ExPrep portal, you can use a chat bot that pops up. You can or submit a support ticket. There's a contact us button in the ExPrep portal as well. So when I pull up the ExPrep portal, you cannot see it very well, maybe, but down here in the bottom right corner, there is a little place for a chat. I could click on that and start a chat. And there's also FAQ and support. This looks like the instructor portal, so it might look a little bit different from yours, but you can always chat for help right there. All right, so then if you have a question that is specific to the assignment, how do I do this thing in Excel, or I don't understand the instructions, that kind of question, you should reach out to me. You can email me or send me a message through Canvas, whichever you prefer. All right, and then you need to make sure you note where your files are saved. You know, you set up those folders in the file management assignment. So just like you hopefully are saving your SimNet project files to those folders, you can save these ExPrep assignment files to those folders as well. Because if your graded feedback says you missed something, you'll want to go back to that file you first submitted and make the changes in that and resubmit that, just like you would in a SimNet project. All right, and then here's some information. If you submit a support ticket to ExPrep, here's some information that they will need. All right, so if you forget what to do, you can come back to this assignment at any time and look at that information again without resubmitting. It won't affect your grade. And if you submit multiple attempts at an assignment, then you will get the highest grade is the one that will be retained. All right, so let's go ahead and do this activity together. The first question is, when you have completed an ExPrep assignment and you are ready to submit it, you should. What should you do? So for this question, there's 4 choices. There's a blue box here, and there's a little drop-down menu. You can choose A, B, C, or D. So for this one, when you're ready to submit, what should you do? Should you send it to your professor? That's me. Should you upload it to Canvas? Should you upload it to the ExPrep platform? Or should you save it to OneDrive or something like that? You should upload it to the ExPrep platform, and I'm going to show you how to do that using the action button. So if we go back to that ExPrep platform page, here's the portal. So for this assignment, there's an action button here, and if you click on that, I can submit my assignment there. So that's what you would do if you're ready to submit. Once you have submitted it and it's graded, you can view your submissions and download one of those, and you can look at what kind of feedback there is on your grade. If you didn't make a 100, then you will want to do that and see what you got wrong. All right, the next question. When you uploaded your assignment, you got a 0. What most likely happened? So there's 4 choices here. Did the professor set it up wrong? Did you upload the empty file instead of your completed assignment? Maybe it's your roommate's or dog's fault, or the ExPrep portal is broken. So probably you uploaded the empty file instead of your completed assignment. So you are working in a file that is named empty initially. But once you complete your assignment in that file, you'll upload it, and then it will be graded for you. So this is probably the cause of a 0. It's just that you didn't submit the file that actually contains your work. So that's why it's important to know where your file is being saved so that you submit the right one. All right, moving on to number 3. In this question, you are going to put these steps in order. There are 6 steps here, and you have to determine what happens first. So there's open the downloaded file, note the red highlighted cells. Well, you won't see these until after you have submitted your work and gotten it graded. So it looks like the first one might be locate the appropriate assignment, but that one requires navigating to the assignments page in the ExPrep portal. So that's actually the first thing to do, is navigate to the assignments page. You will be using the link in Canvas to do that. So it won't be a mystery to you how to navigate to it. You'll just use the assignment link and that'll take you to it. And that takes you directly to the appropriate assignment. So since we have this integrated with Canvas, those first 2 steps will be straightforward for you. Once you've done that, you can then use the action buttons to see what the options are pertaining to the assignment. All right, and then you are ready to submit the assignment to ExPrep for grading. All right, so then once you have submitted it and have it graded, you can download that submission attempt. So that's going to be the next thing to do, is download the submission attempt. And if you've submitted it several times, there will be more than one submission attempt, and you can choose. It's usually the last one that you did is the one that you want to download. Then you can open the download and take note of the red highlighted cells. And then you can navigate. There will be an additional page, an additional worksheet in there that is named Student Score Report. And that's the one that will explain what you did wrong and what you might need to try next. All right, now I'm not going to do the last 2 for you. I'm going to leave you to do those. I want you to see how it works to submit this. So I'm going to save the file. So you want to save it, and then we can submit it. So you will go to Submit. So you use that action button back in the portal. You'll click Submit, and you will select your own name from there. I'm going to say Test because I'm testing the process here. And I have this one I just completed is still in my downloads because I didn't move it anywhere. I hope you are moving yours to your Excel review folder. So here's that assignment that I just completed. So I'm going to open that, and it is there, and then I can submit. And I should not get 100 because I didn't complete it all. All right, it tells me I received an 80. Okay, so I can close that. And now if I want to see what it is that I missed, I can view my submissions. All right, so here's my submission where I got an 80. And I can look at that submission now. There's an action button in there as well. And I can say download the graded file. All right, so we'll look at my graded file and see where I missed something. So now I'm going to enable editing again. All right, so now in that Activity 1 tab, here are the red highlighted cells. It's showing me where I missed something. So I missed the 2 that I did not complete, of course. And in the score report, I can look at that. I can see where I have missed points here. I missed 2 out of the 10 points, so I got an 80. And so then it tells me, gives me some feedback on this. You should only contact your professor if. Okay, so those are basically helping me answer those questions now. So now I don't want to make changes to improve my grade. I should not complete this. I should go back to the one that I originally submitted. And remember that that was in my empty file. So I go back to the one that is named empty and make changes here, and then go back to the ExPrep portal and go back to submit. I'll submit another attempt and then hopefully get 100 the next time. All right, so that just gives you a little overview of ExPrep. Once you have completed this assignment, you will then go back to Canvas, and in that Excel review model, there are a few more assignments that are related to just reviewing things that you covered in Excel in CIS 120. So there are several more ExPrep assignments, 4 more that you'll complete, and then you'll move on to the last 2 sim paths. And that will complete your review of Excel. Okay, so you have more than a week to complete these things. So hopefully that is plenty of time. The ExPrep assignments are typically pretty quick. They take a little less time than some of the projects that you will complete in SimNet. And as always, feel free to reach out to me if you need help with anything. Take care.